All right. So, welcome back, everybody, to another video. I'm doing this live. A little bit easier because I got a lot of busy things going on right now. But I wanted to show off what this build is. So this build is built upon another IA set. Remember I did my IA set for my Necromancer that everybody really likes. I also wanted to do something with picking a set out of the Arcanist. So 1 bar Arcanist is what we're doing in here. And the set that I'm looking at is the Spattering Disjunction set. Let me do this. Let me show it through here because I've got a whole bunch of stuff on the screen right now. So it can be a little bit hard to see. We've got a giveaway going on. We've got all kinds of stuff. Let's go into Infinite Archive because each one of them has 2. And I'm using, let's see, not that one. I am using the Spattering Disjunction set. Gives you a little bit of crit chance, gives you some spell, weapon, or spell damage. I'm on the stamina side of things for this build. And what it is, that dealing damage with an Arcanist ability applies 2 random status effects. Really good for IA. To your target. This effect can occur once every 7 seconds, dealing damage with Herald of the Tome ability, which is our 2 main abilities. Damage abilities reduces this cooldown by 0.5 seconds, up to once every second. So that's what we're building around. And what I've got for pieces on here is that I have the shoulder, is that, and I've got the, here, actually for just right now, let's take that away so you guys can see it a little bit better. I've got the shoulder. All right, it's in light with a stamina. That is paired with the amulet, which I have in spell damage, weapon damage, with Bloodthirsty for 1 amulet and 1 ring. And then I'm using the lightning staff within it. So we've got our lightning staff going on. Lightning staff is with precise and flame damage, so we can get that status effect with the flame damage. So the setup is those 4 pieces, which give us our 5 slots in there. We've got our Slimecraw. It's going to be in heavy with stamina and divines. Match with our Oakensoul ring, which again is in that physical damage with the Bloodthirsty. And then our second set is going to be our good old Pillar of Nirn. Pillar of Nirn is really, really good, still amazing, but we're going to have everything in stamina in Divines. And if you don't know, if you've forgotten what Pillar of Nirn is that when you deal damage, you create a little fissure underneath that does bleed damage and some dot damage over 10 seconds. So really good pairing. So Pillar Jack paired with the Spattering and with the Slimecraw and Oakensoul. All right, so that's our setup. And if it was a little hard to see in there, like I say, because I'm doing live, I'll have it down below in the description so you can see all the different parts what we got going on there. For our food, I'm using the, let's see, where is it now? It's actually kind of a cool one. I haven't used too much before. It is the Pack Leader's Bone Broth. It gives us some increase of stamina and health, a lot of it. And because we've got plenty of resources to get back, plenty of things to get back our resources, so we don't have to worry about that. For our potions, we're using a Tri-Restoration part. You can't beat them, and you get them free every month through our dailies and stuff. So you get a lot of them. So really, really good one to have. So, all right, boom. If you look, my attributes are all over the place. 35 and 29. Wait, what are you doing, Maty? Basically, I made the build, and then I really like having my health at 30. When I get my health up to 30 through putting points in here, I put everything into stamina. Everything else into stamina after that. So my stamina is almost at 27k, which is really good. All right, and I've got my health. I find that if I have my 30, I don't get one shot by a lot of things. All right, if I'm going to get one shot by something over 30, it's going to be, it's going to be something hefty in there. So that's kind of the goal. Get yourself whatever you need for the health to get to that, with that. So whatever food that you're eating, whatever stuff, that'll work. Just looking at some of my stats in here, my health recovery is at 2,500. My stamina recovery is at 2,000. Again, so resources, really, really good. Those are the main ones that we need. Some other stats just to look at. 4497 for our weapon damage in there, and we've got 44% for our crit. We've got the ring on, so we've got all of these, wonderful effects going on there. And I'm using the Serpent. I'm using the Serpent Mundus because the Serpent gives us stamina recovery. That's why we've got so much, recovery going on there. So, yeah. Skills. What are we using for our skills? Well, this is another big one that I'm doing a little bit of a curveball. We all know that we're going to be using the Flail, of course. And we all know that we're going to be using Fate Carver, of course. But what else are we going to use in here? Well, I've chosen, instead of using the Inspired Scholarship that you see on a lot of builds and stuff here, I'm using Cruxweaver armor. I really like the whole thing of my Necro being a little bit tanky, so that I wasn't afraid of any Marauders or any World Bosses or anything like that. That was a little bit stout. And I was looking at different things, and I was like, oh my gosh, Cruxweaver. Look what this does for us in here. It grants you major resolve, not minor resolve. Major resolve for 30 seconds. So you can just put it on and forget about it for half a minute. All right? Increasing your armor by almost 6k. While the armor persists, taking any damage applies minor breach to the... so there's our minor breach to anybody that hits us, reducing their armor for almost 3k for 6 seconds. Blows against your armor also generate a crux up to once every 5 seconds. I really like that. Because if I'm getting hit or something, boom, 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 I'm at my crux. I don't even have to do my flare. Boom, I can just set off my beam. Or do my flail once to get the ink, because that's part of the flail save, so you do more damage when you get the ink on them. So yeah, really good. Gives us a lot of good damage mitigation. Makes us a little bit, tankier. Really like that. Because like I said, one of the big things I really liked with my Necro, latest Necro build, was feeling a little bit tankier. So this is actually giving us tankiness, giving them a debuff so that they're a little bit more exposed, and we build a crux. Really, really good. All right. The flail, of course, is wonderful because it does damage. It interrupts things. It immobilizes things. It does... thank you so much for the follow. It gives us a health back in there. And like I said, it increases damage by 5% if they've got the ink on it, which it goes through enemies and puts on everything in its path. Then, of course, we use the Fate Carver in here because that's going to put a shield up on us. Again, making us even more tankier with that. Really love that aspect of that. And then, let's make it simple. We're going to throw on that Revealing Flare. Now, this is maybe a flex spot for us. You could put something else in there if you wanted to. You could fool around with a Scribed ability. You could fool around with like one of those new banner abilities in there, or some healing, or whatever you like in there. I like this one if you can get it, because it is through PvP, but it gives you just a flat-out 10% damage mitigation. Really great. And then healing. You know me, I did a whole big thing about how much I love the healing ability of the new scribed ability. Do I even have that still on this one? Where is it? To the scry? Soul Magic. Yeah, the healing burst. I'm like, it's the best heal in the game. I love it. It does a big burst heal, a big heal over time, and minor result. I love this one because A, it is an Arcanist skill. It does a lot of health. It does a lot of health over time. And if I have any extra cruxes in there, reduces the cost of the ability, so it's practically free to be able to use it. Love it. And because of the new colorizations in there, you also get a really cool bluish purple-green color to it. Yeah. Love it. So you get these really cool-looking runes around you for these new skills. Yeah, so I love it. So, and it gives us some of those nice passives that come along with it. And you guys can look through that with the different passives in here. So, really great. Great ability. So we've pretty much gone with all of our Arcanist abilities, with that. So just love it. And then the final one that we use is the Tide King's Gaze. It's too good because it moves. You know, there's nothing worse than putting down like a thing against an enemy and then they move out of it. It's like, ugh. So having this, if they move a little bit, this is going to move with it and still do a whole lot of damage. Now, this is kind of like a last resort. I don't even use it very much, and I don't want to use it very much. It's kind of just like maybe either a last finisher, or if I'm having a hard time, or if I want to make sure, like in Vadashran, if I want to make sure that I take down the little, like, you know, the tethered ghost ladies or something like that during that time in the final fight, if I want to take them down quick and stuff, because I'm going to be having in my, here it is a good segue, to my CP, I'm going to be using Strategic Reserve. That's how I'm getting so much health recovery in there. So I'm getting a ton of health recovery, 1,500, health recovery back from having that at 500. So that's why we've got a total of 2,500, with our health recovery. So it's really good. So if I have to use it, I use it, but I usually kind of just hold it there. And like I said, great one because it moves around. Really good. All right. Looking at the rest of them in the red tree, we're doing our regular Boundless Vitality, Fortified, Rejuvenation, and the Strategic Reserve. Out of Das Blue, we're using our Wrathful Strikes, our Focused Mending, so we get some more healing back. Biting Aura, because that's what our two abilities are. They are area of effects. And our Master of Arms, because that's direct damage. We're also doing direct damage as well. So, yeah. So we've got all that going on in there. So, let's see. What else do I need to talk about? Let's see. So we've got the points in there. We've got the food that you're doing. We've got all that stuff in there. What race you want to use, whatever you want to use. That doesn't matter in this build at all. I'm partial to Khajiit. So Khajiit kind of works for me in there. I think that's pretty much it. We've talked about the gear. We've talked about the skills. We talked about kind of the theory behind it and stuff and everything. And so let's do a little bit of fighting so I can kind of show you my setup and stuff. Hello, everybody just coming in. Yeah, we're doing a little thing for YouTube. Come on in and join me. So I've just been showing off this new build. I wanted to make a new build. Or I wanted a new video. And just time-wise, it's just a lot easier for me to do it while we're live. So welcome on in, everybody. Here we go. So I put on my shield to begin. Boom. Now look at this. I can just kind of hang out. Look at this. They're hitting me. They're trying to hit me. There you go. There's my Cruxes getting put on. Boom, boom, boom. I've got all that regeneration that's coming back. They've got a hard time. I can put the ink on people. Boom. And then I've got a shield up when I do that. Really easy. Put that shield up again. It lasts 30 seconds. Everything can hit me here. I'll stand in the stupid. Look at that. Still got a lot of that. I can put out that for my shielding. I'm still not using any healing at all. Having up my shield allows for my high health recovery to do its thing. Lock this. Boom. Burns them down really quick. Boom. So we've got some great damage mitigation, an easy way to get Crux back, and we've got so healing, defense, lots of damage. So a little bit of everything. Yeah. So that's why I really like this one. And it feels real casual. Let's do something that's not gonna... I don't have any assault skills. Basically, I didn't want to pick anything that was gonna alter the build going into this. So let's do a boss here. Oh, perfect! I like this guy because he runs around all the place and stuff. So here we go. Boom, put on my shield. He's gonna hit me. There you go. Now I got 2 Cruxes. I can put another one. And then boom. I can take all of his hits. I can let him run me over. That's not going to do anything to me. Come on back, sir. Put a couple of more on there. Boom, survive that. Really good burn. I love this. Here, I can block. Stand in the fire even. Maybe I'll put on a health thing just for giggles. And I can look over at you all. I can just kind of hang out. I'm not really worried about any kind of resources. I'm not worried about anything of him doing, any kind of significant damage to me. Boom, I can even take my hands off. Look at that. Real easy, real comfy, and I think a good variation on the Arcanist build. Because I've been looking for something that does, a variation of what, other people have put out there. And because these two skills are kind of the crux, pun intended, of any kind of the build in there, what could we use to kind of make it a little bit different, a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more that you don't feel like, you're dependent on, too much going on, and you can take a little bit of a beating. Because even though, we have things that give us healing and gives us shield in here, we still feel a little bit more glass cannon-y compared to other builds. And so this kind of fixes that issue. So having the wonderful Crux Weaver armor in there. I went stamina in there because I originally went Magicka with it, but you use the flail so much in there that it was tough for my stamina resources. So I switched everything over to stamina, and we were really good. It really worked out, really well. So, and I'm keeping a staff and not using any weapons though. So I don't have anything to get that stamina back if I go too low, but I'm never really there too much. And we do have Empower because of the Oakensoul, so I can just heavy attack with my lightning staff if I really, need any kind of thing, to compensate for that. So while I wait for my stamina to go up. So there we go. All right, so that's the new build. Got to think of a name for it. I don't know. Let's see. We got some blues and green. We call it blue and green. That's an old jazz reference. We call my outfit the Supreme Khajiit because if you put on the armor and you put on, I've got the outfit at the same time, you get this green glow background and your hands do the whole thing like Doctor Strange. See all the little things around there? So you get the, that. There you go. Yeah, the green with the purple and stuff like that. The Mardi Gras. So you got a lot of choice for this. I'll come up with something for the video. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to my chat for being patient with me so I could make this video. It saves me a lot of time. So give this a try. See if it works. It is a lot of work to get this one because you got to go through IA to get the set in there. So this is one's not for the faint heart. A good, you can use anything else to get you going. If you've got Pillar of Nirn already, then you're halfway there. You can do that. You could put Order's Wrath for the other set. You could put, a variety of things. Deadly Strike on there, which is a PvP, which you can buy. Actually, Deadly Strike and Pillar of Nirn was kind of the meta when Arcanist first came out, so you could use that. You might have that all set up. So you can use whatever you want. You then just have to get into IA and start getting the pieces, on there. So, yeah. So, wonderful. Thank you, everybody, for being here and watching the video. Please make sure that you hit the sub button if you haven't already, the likes, the bells, everything like that. And leave a comment down below. We do much better with getting the videos out there for people if we have a little bit of commentary back and forth. It helps the algorithm really well. So thank you so much. I'll see you in the next video, everybody. Bye! And scene. There we go.